Hey, what is up, everybody? We are back. This is the 270 Podcast. I am your host, Ethan, and I'm joined with Neelix
Hey, fellers.
and Mitch.
Hello, guys.
Yeah, so we are back. I know we kind of took last week off, a little mini vacation for us, but we're back and better. Neelix is finally back from his trip, so everyone welcome him back in the comments.
Thank the Lord.
How was your trip, Neelix?
Yeah, it was all right
Okay.
at first, but the getting back was definitely a bigger hassle than it should have been. Took me 3 days to get back from Mississippi, essentially.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you're back. I know the podcast missed you. Um, I don't
I missed the
know.
podcast.
Yeah, I know not a lot has happened the past few weeks. I don't know if I have any
I
crazy
I
stories
will
or
say
anything.
the week you guys did the podcast without me, it sounded great. I was really entertained.
Hey, well, we appreciate it, dude.
I had a
I'm
good
glad you
time.
liked it,
We
buddy. We
appreciate the
Had a
missed you.
support.
good time listening to you guys.
Yeah, we like to yeah sometimes. Um let's just go ahead and get into it today. There's not a lot to talk about today. Um there's not a lot of news in regards to like Yu-Gi-Oh, it's still down. No one can play. There hasn't been any tournaments that I'm aware of. But we always
But
some crazy price stuff going on,
the
so
biggest news about Yu-Gi-Oh is my level 2 beasts are on dueling book.
yeah, Marfay.
Yeah, the Marfays.
Yeah, you could finally start playing them, see if they're actually good. Do you think they will be?
Um, do you want to hear my honest opinion?
I want to hear your biased opinion first, and then your unbiased opinion.
Okay, my biased opinion is they're going to be the greatest deck of all time,
Okay,
okay.
and my unbiased opinion is they are the greatest deck of all time.
gotcha.
I
Okay.
like it. I like it.
I'm
All right,
super
sounds
excited.
sounds good. So Mitch, what do we got for some wacky prices?
All right. First, we're gonna start off with Amazonia's baby tiger. It is out of legendary duelist. Legendary duelist. That's I don't. I guess that's it. Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay,
For some reason, you're looking at like $12, $13.
okay, yeah,
I'm guessing because it says Amazonius in his name.
yeah. Is this
That's
getting
Or,
some?
or maybe it's because it's a level 2 beast.
Oh, speaking of, what does it
Hey,
even do?
maybe you're right, Neil. So you're thinking ahead of the curve than I am, but I'm guessing this is a collector's card just because people really like the Amazonia's theme.
Yeah.
That'd be my best guess.
Well,
Besides that, I have no idea.
well,
I
if
really
yeah,
am
I
not
don't I
sure.
don't see what this card really does, but if you have these and you don't care about the theme, you may want to get rid of them because
Hey,
they're a
Yes.
few bucks right now.
little
Yes.
add to that. If you play Obedient School, summon out an Amazonius baby tiger, and you have one in hand, you can just summon another one.
That is true.
That's
You
true.
just summon it
You're
from your
not
hand.
wrong.
So I'm over here
You're
clicking.
all right. Next, I've got Garden Rose Maiden. Uh, it's it's out of what is it? Legendary Duelist Sister of the Rose. It's actually a pretty decent card. I really haven't read it until now, and
hmm
it's really not that bad, honestly.
When it's summoned or special summon, you search Black Garden from your deck or grave to your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target a Rose Dragon monster or a Dragon Synchro in your graveyard. Special summon. That's pretty good. Level
I
5.
mean, the Dragon Sticker Monster in your graveyard that could see some play. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
mean, there's a lot of good Dragon
Yeah,
Synchros.
and it's a
Um,
dark.
yeah,
Yeah, it is a dark, but I mean, you're looking at what 14, $15 for that
yeah. And what is it? A
out of a
super?
set that nobody bought.
Ultra?
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I've
yeah,
never
it's an
heard. I've
ultra.
never heard of this set to be honest.
No,
Um,
and I mean
hmm,
that could be good. Not
yeah.
bad.
No, that's a pretty good. That's a pretty decent card. A lot better
Yeah,
than the Tiger, in my opinion.
for once it makes sense.
Yeah.
Next we could talk about Eternity Code prices. Now that it's kind of settled. It came out in EU, and people are starting to get products, sell it on TCG Player. And I want to talk about the surprising thing of Access Code Talker is more expensive than the Crocodile guy.
Yep. By
Have
about
you
a
read Access
dollar.
Code Taker?
I have. It is a very good card, but I think the Crocodile is super, super broken.
Yeah, and I'll like before this set came out, I think the hype for the dinosaur was a lot higher than this. Um,
That's
Yes,
probably fair, but that is more generic, so it's
it
probably
is.
why.
It is
Yeah.
a generic card, very good card, but it's just very surprising to me. Of course, Gearsy being the most expensive, not surprising. That
Yeah,
card's busted.
very good
Very
card.
good card.
Hmm.
Link Cross being more expensive than some secrets, not surprising. That
Yeah,
card is
more
probably
expensive
the best
than.
card from
What
this set.
exactly?
Yeah, so this is
What's Link?
anything that makes tokens right now is good,
Cross?
or like as long as links are a thing, it would be good. It says if this card's link summon, you can activate this effect. Special summon a number of link tokens and their stats and attributes, um, all that, up to the link rating of the monster used for the link summon.
Okay.
And you can't use those tokens as link material. But so if you use like a link 3 to make this,
Mm-hmm.
you could summon 3 link tokens. Is how that works. So
Gotcha.
it's a pretty good card for sure.
Yes. Yeah, that card's very good. I'm
Mhm.
kind of surprised the Ghost Mourner Moonlight Chill is kind of on the cheaper side, I guess. I really like that
A
card.
lot of people don't like just like listening to other people's opinion, talking to like our friends and things. Not a lot of people like it. I think it's pretty good. I honestly do think it's pretty good, but I don't think a lot of
I
people
do
agree
too.
with that opinion. Like in the OCG, not really played.
No, I like it. But hey, good set still. I'm excited for it to come out,
Yes,
soon here, and excited to see real tournaments when they start back up to really see how it pans out,
yes,
in
very
the
excited.
future.
And
I'm
like Invoked got it. Like honestly, a pretty big power spike, and that deck's still at full power with Shadal, and it got a really good fusion monster, but
And everybody forgot about it.
no one talked about it.
It's all about an Emancipator and Eldrix, with Crystron and Link Cross and just getting
Yeah, just
crazy
a
spam
there's a
things.
bunch of weird stuff from what I've seen, but it's kind of
That's
hard to keep
crazy.
track of the meta right now.
They're really not getting ready for those level 2 beasts.
No, they're ways off. You gotta
Yeah,
give them a
and
break. Come on,
They are. They are.
come on.
yeah, I don't
I don't
know
think
if
we're
World
getting
will.
those
anyone's
till at
super
least
worried about
August.
it.
I am
Yeah,
happy Deep Sea. Is it Araya? Area?
Area,
yeah.
maybe
Area?
something
Yeah.
like
That's
that.
a good card.
I'm
Yeah.
glad that card is a little kind of like 20. Yeah, $20, 22
So
bucks.
you banish a water monster from your grave, then search a low 4 lower C. Right, it's that deck.
Yeah.
It was what that card does. It's a pretty good card. Add some consent.
And
I'm
people gotta remember too, this stuff's gotta keep going down because it's about to be
yeah.
released in here.
Yeah,
So
for anyone listening that doesn't know, this set is not even released in the US yet. This is
yeah,
only European. So, essentially double, like probably double the supply once this comes out, and the release date's June 5th.
yep,
So a
yep,
lot of these prices are going to go down because there's going to be so many more cards on the market.
yeah.
But there's a lot of good cards. I have all my plunder stuff ready, so I'm excited about the new plunder stuff. I think the
It's a good
deck's pretty
card.
good now. Yeah.
That and the
Um,
equip spell, very good cards.
yes. And also I have my trap tricks on the super low. I have them on
That's
the
a good
side
card.
because this card is so good. Have you seen this card, Alex?
Uh, ooh, it's been a while. I've forgotten exactly
Yeah.
what it did.
So when your opponent activates a monster effect in their hand or grave, or when your opponent banish, or when your opponent's banished monster effect is
Yeah,
activated, you negate it and then
that
you burn them for
that's really
2,000.
strong.
Yeah. So
God, that's so
you can negate like
strong.
a hand trap effect, a graveyard effect, or a banish effect, monster effects, and then they lose a fourth of their life points.
Why couldn't this have been a card when Orcus was running trains on
Yeah.
people?
Well, I mean, Gearsy just came out, so Orcus is probably gonna make a return in some shape or form. Trap Trick's got new stuff. This is a trap hole card. I definitely have my Trap Trick links to the
It's
side,
crazy.
ready
They
to play
really
this
made
card.
Alter Guys better.
I
I
mean,
think I don't know, man. I kind of think Trap Trick is my sleeper deck. I will say that now. Trap Trick is my sleeper trap deck, and I love trap decks. And Trap Trick is being slept on. It
What's
just
that
got a
60
bunch of new cards.
Titan, what? Titan Cinder? What is that? Why is that $16?
Read it. So it's just a normal. It is a secret rare, so that could attribute to its cost. But it's a normal trap. You target a face-up monster your opponent controls that was special summoned from the extra deck. You change its attack to 0, and if you do, negate its effects. If your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck while this card's in their graveyard, except the turn it was sent, you set it. So it's
So it's
kind of like
a
Lost
different.
Winds.
Yeah, Lost Winds.
Um,
But it has to be on an extra deck monster.
yes, and it doesn't banish itself. So there's pros and cons. I guess depending on the format
Gotcha.
will depend if this or Lost Winds better. But this card's pretty good.
Well, it is MR5, so there's
Yeah.
a lot of extra
Yeah,
deck
I mean, yeah, there are a
monsters.
lot of people who have extra deck monsters for sure. I think that's
18
all.
of them to be exact, I think.
Yeah. I think that's all the prices we're going to talk about today. Um, just a little bit more Yu-Gi-Oh news. They did announce a Dragunity structure deck. We don't really know any of the cards, like the new cards yet. I'm sure some old Dragunity stuff will get reprinted. We don't know any cards, but I know this is kind of like a more fan favorite. You know, it's like an OG Dragon deck. It's pretty cool. Well, that may be exciting for some people.
If
Switch it up.
it's like the first deck, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, yeah, there was some cool stuff. With just everything dragons always just seems to be like decent, at least.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
like one of the best decks ever made was Dragon Roll. Let's see here. So next we're switching up. A few weeks ago, I don't remember what podcast it was, but we talked about like those alt art Godzilla Magic cards, and we don't really play Magic. We don't talk about it a lot, but it does kind of interest us just because it's Godzilla. It's pretty cool. So we showed the singles. There's alt arts, and I think we learned. Mitch, you told me the other day. Those alt arts aren't playable. They're just more like collector cards.
Yeah, none of the cards are gonna be like good standard cards, so we
Yeah.
got lucky.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank goodness, because we do kind of want them. And that really helped to keep the prices to a minimum. Here though, it is kind of expensive. So there's 4 full art lands. If you play the game, this is kind of like your mana. And it's like with the Godzilla arts. Here's like the close-ups of the pictures. They're all very pretty. You could get one of each in this like special box for $30. It's definitely a collector's items. I don't think you play with these. It would just be super expensive to get like a playset of all these, but they're pretty cool. They're very nice looking. So if y'all were interested in those Godzilla cards we showed not too long ago, you may want to look into this as well.
It's so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're all pretty. Oh, so you get 5. I said 4. You get 5. Because this
Okay,
is
yeah.
the normal one. I don't really know the elements, but yeah, and it's not in English.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't notice that Mothra was on that one either. That's cool.
Yeah, Mothra. That's Rodan. Most of them are just Godzilla. I can't tell who this guy is though.
It's the Gamma Seal one, I think. No,
Oh, that's the toxic monster guy, like
Yeah,
the pollution
never mind.
monster guy. I can't
Oh.
remember his name.
Oh, okay. Land associated with black mana. Oh, it tells you right here. So there's a red mana, green,
Wait, who's in the
black.
green one, though? Obviously, there's a villain in all of them, right? So who's
No,
in
not this
green?
one.
No, this one I think.
So here it
yeah.
just says somewhere in this scene we see Godzilla King of Monsters. So it tells you who's in here.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's Rodan. He was in the movie too. Super good movie. This one's name is Hedora, the sludge-like swamp monster. I wouldn't have minded like the Ghidorah, like the 3-headed
Yeah.
one to be in one of these lands. Would have been pretty sick. But they do look
Yeah.
all really nice.
they look
So if
really
y'all are
cool.
interested,
I'd
What-
piece Godzilla up.
I don't know if you want those problems. Here's a mountain. Here's a mountain, and then here's him. He's bigger. Like here's another mountain, and here's him. Look, here's the people. You can see people in the bottom right of this.
Those
I'd
little
throw up.
Mothra people.
Yeah, if I saw him in real life, I would throw up too.
Yeah. Do
'Cause
you
that's-
think our military could deal with something like that?
No.
I don't know. Like the thing, like if it has the same weaknesses, maybe because we have the movies.
The meats?
No, we have the movies, so we could watch them to like know his weaknesses, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Like
It
if he
was
just comes out of the screen, then we're like, okay, well we have all this information and data because of the movies. But if it's like
Yeah.
just another random big creature, then who knows. But I'm sure the military has a bunch of crazy secrets. They could just blow up planets with their eyeballs or something that we don't know about. So yeah. We'll just
have
hope we won't.
adapted.
We just hope we won't have to deal with a kaiju walking around.
Dude, I swear that's coming in the month 13 of this year.
Yeah. And here's a segue for you guys. Speaking of big monsters, in League of Legends, they showed the Volibear rework. In the lore, he's a big thunder monster. So I'm gonna play a quick clip. We won't play through this whole video, and then we'll kind of go over his skins and his abilities. So I'm gonna play this real quick. Okay, real quick, Neelix.
He's pissed.
Okay, is this a person right here? Do you see my mouse?
I think that's the tower. I
Okay.
think.
Imagine this is you.
I'd throw up.
Okay. So let's kind of look at we'll go over his abilities first. So his passive, he gains 3 attack speed whenever he deals damage. So this isn't just a basic attack. Anytime he deals damage, he gains 3 attack speed, and this stacks up to 5 times, so giving him a maximum of 15 attack speed. And then once he hits that max stacks, his attacks chain lightning like his old ult.
Yeah, like so he becomes a static shield.
Yeah, I don't remember where I saw it, but a Riot employee said he's like kind of one of the best scaling champions when it comes to attack speed. And so like if you build every single champion with just attack speed, then Volibear kind of is in that top percent, with who gets the most value out of attack speed items. So I think that's kind of something to keep in mind. I do think you probably build him more primarily tanky, but that is something to keep in mind. His Q, he has the run, like he gets on all fours and runs, but instead of flipping him, he just hits them and stuns them. You can see the damage and the scaling on the screen.
I think I like that more.
The flipping is
Like,
pretty good.
Yeah, it's both good, but
Yeah.
like I feel like flipping is just kind of dumb.
Yeah. And then he becomes enraged if an enemy immobilizes him before he stuns them, resetting the cooldown. So if he's charging at somebody and he gets stunned, then the cooldown gets reset and he could do it again. So it's kind of hard to stop him during this, which I think that's a pretty good.
Dude, that man has got to have more tenacity than.
Yeah, I mean that's like, yeah, that's a very good. That's a very good like little passive. Like just like one sentence just makes it so much better. Because that essentially means it's always gonna go off. Like he's gonna just be running at you. You could keep throwing your stuns and whatever you got, but he's just gonna keep going. His W is kind of like his old W, except he doesn't have to get the stacks. He just does his little bite, and it applies on hit effects and wounds them. If they're wounded, then the damage is increased by 50%, and he heals. So he has self-healing, so he has sustain, and he has on, like, I mean, that's a lot of damage, honestly.
I think he's definitely a jungler. Like he still is he's still a jungler.
I think this passive makes it really easy for him to like clear, because he has level 1 clear. You just have to attack. You have to damage something 5 times. And he basic like a lot of attack speed just in his kit built in. So I could definitely see him being a jungler. Yeah. So
Okay.
the W is the bite. His E is like a little you saw in the video, that little electric shock that he goes down. If he's in the shock when it lands, he gets a shield. And enemies in it take damage and are slowed, I believe. So you don't want to fight him if you see that lightning coming down, because you're gonna take damage. You're gonna get CC'd, and he's gonna have a shield that's 15% of his max health. So if he
ganks are insane.
Yeah, I definitely think he has a lot of CC with a stun and a slow, and we're gonna show his ult, which you saw in the video. But he definitely is very mobile too.
Yeah, high mobility with CC.
Yeah, and this ult, which I think is very good ability. So he like jumps in, does just like a bunch of damage, and he gains health. So at level 16, he gets 600 health, 50 attack range, and he can move through units. You don't get creep blocked, which that should be taken out of the game in its entirety, but whatever. But if this is at level 16 and he does this near a tower, it disables that tower for 6 seconds.
Hey, tower dives with him are going to be nuts.
Yes, and it damages the tower, right? So enemy
Okay.
towers are disabled for 2, 4, 6 seconds and suffer this amount of damage.
They definitely got to nerf that.
Yeah, so it does the damage, and then nearby enemies are slowed by 50%. Enemies directly underneath suffer this amount of damage. So it
Like,
looks
it
like he
suffers-
just does that much damage. Am I reading
It
that
suffers
wrong?
700 plus 250% AD.
There's
And
no.
200
I have
yeah,
to be. I think I'm reading this wrong. There's no way he does this much damage to a tower.
plus
Yeah.
250% of his AD.
AD and then 150% of AP. I don't want to go rewatch that video just because we already watched it, but I'm gonna have to look into that because there's no way he does that damage to the tower. But I mean, at level 16, you're
one-shots
disabling.
boss.
Yeah, and at level 16, you're disabling a tower for 6 seconds, which is not super important late game because you're not gonna really be worrying about tower dive. But I mean, early and mid game, you're still disabling it from 2 to 4 seconds, which is a long time. And he gets a pretty big buff, like 200, 400 health, attack range, and
Yeah, so now you don't have a tower to help
yeah.
deal with a buffed. I think Riot put Nasus's ult and Darius's ult all in one, and just like
Yeah, and I don't know if y'all
let's
played.
stop thing.
I don't know if y'all played. There was an item called Ohm Wrecker, and it would disable a tower. Like it was just as active. If you're near a tower, you just click your key and it disables it for seconds. Yeah, but this is super good ult, and the buff he gets is for 12 seconds, which in League is a long time. Like if there's a 12-second stun, that would be banned.
Especially with his mobility, 12 seconds.
Yeah, this guy's gonna be running all over the place, doing damage. He gets that shield from the lightning bolt. He gets health from this. He's gonna be unkillable. I think this rework is very good. It's simple, like it's not too complicated, but it's very cool and it's very good. I think I've seen a few videos of like actual gameplay with a few YouTubers, and I think it seems pretty good. And he looks good. And let's look at some.
Mitch said he looked like a Tekken player, a Tekken fighter.
He does.
He does. I think he looks like a Tekken fighter. Really.
Yeah. So here,
buff, man. Look at
no, he is. I wouldn't talk to him crazy.
Yeah.
So
Something that's 40 foot tall and
Yeah.
has abs.
and there was a I don't know if I have it, but there. Let me see if I can find it.
Fun fact: he's a sibling of Anivia and Ornn.
So here is. It's kind of hard to see, but this is the schedule. If you play an ARM during some of these time slots, he shows up and like slams on the bridge. It's just kind of a cool little Easter egg. You can see him in game where it comes out. I don't know how to get this off the screen.
I think you get like an emote too, or like something.
Yeah, there's a chance that you get an emote as well.
What were those times again? Okay, what is today?
It's the
It's already
15th.
passed.
Oh, okay. Did it already pass? Oh.
Pretty sure.
12.
Oh well. Oh well. He has been out for a while. We did miss a week of podcast, but anyways, here's some skins. This is kind of what he looks like in his base form. He looks a lot better than he used to. He kind of looks like a
He looked like an
A muffin.
oversized Goro last
Yeah.
like
and here's some of his stats. Y'all can pause and look at that if that's interesting to you. There's some other skins. We'll look at them real quick. Here's his Thunderlord skin, which you can see in the splash art, like fighting Ornn, which is kind of cool.
That's pretty cool.
Over like a
Yeah,
village.
it is.
Ornn and Volibear just fighting over this village. I would like to watch like a video of this. That's very
Oh, yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
Just-
I definitely do not want to be a part of the village.
No, I do not want to be in this tent right now. And here's what it looks like in game. It's kind of cool. He has some like dreadlocks. Looks a lot better.
Looks
All these
good.
look a lot better than the original. He needed this. Here's his Northern Storm one. Here's his Rune Guard one. Here's his Op one.
Which that one kind of looks like crap.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of like the goofy skins.
I mean, it is an op skin. What do you expect?
Yeah, I mean, if you talk to the police, we'll talk to you. And his new skin, his new skin is the 1,000 pierced one. I believe you get this if you own Volibear during the patch, you get this
Yeah,
skin
if you
for
had it
free.
before it's released, you get it for free. So
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I
and
like
it's a
they're doing
yeah,
that.
and it's a super cool skin. Like the animations are very sick.
Yeah, looks
I'm
very
gonna
Um,
have to
good.
buy Bear.
I think the last time they did this, I believe, is with Trundle's rework. You got the original Trundle skin or whatever it's called. A little more. I know we kind of talked about the astronaut skins. What did we saw the Bard one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, and here's a Nar one. Kind of him as an alien or an astronaut. Nar's kind of like Big Nar's kind of like an alien. Kind of cool.
It looks good. I like this kid. It looks
Yeah,
pretty good.
I like this. Like their border looks a lot cooler than some of the other borders. Like if you get the skin on like first week or something. And that's Poppy, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Poppy.
Yeah, yeah. Here she is, right
Yeah.
here.
Ready Hammer.
So those skins are gonna be pretty cool. We already have the Nautilus one, the Timo one, and then so we're getting the Bard, Poppy, and Gnar. Pretty cool. Some updates for Cass. Are they showing her?
Maybe they're gonna give all the Yordles astronaut skins.
Maybe, but it'd be weird because Bard or Nautilus aren't one.
I know, but I think they just put them in there just because they look good as astronauts.
Yeah, it makes sense. And then so our next little segment, I'm gonna kind of let Mitch head this one up because he has a lot of feelings on it. um, big changes coming to ADC and League. So
They
Mitch,
have big changes.
I'm gonna let you take this one over since you're an ADC main.
Yeah, big changes coming to ADC. That's a good clickbait right there. All right, basically what they're gonna do to ADCs, they're giving what all is it? They're buffing their health by how much did they say?
30. It's
30,
plus
and then
35 per level.
yeah, they're buffing Zeal plus 3% attack speed, and then items that build from Zeal get plus 5 attack speed. So Hurricane, Shiv, Phantom Dancer, and Rapid Fire Cannon.
Mhm.
Okay, this, jeez, this. All right, the items. Let's make this clear. No ADC builds into these items first.
Yep.
You never. What champion does build these items first? Yasuo. Guess what that means for ADCs? It's gonna be Yasuo bot lane, and he's already broken enough, and they're buffing the items he uses.
Yeah.
And they're just like, well, guys, guess what? We're making ADCs tankier. Okay, 30 plus health. You're still getting one shot by almost every mid laner, every tank top laner. You're getting 1v1 by supports early game. Leona probably all game.
And
Like
Rammus.
yeah, like every jungle. I'm sorry, junglers. Every jungler. It could be Ivern. You'd probably lose to him 1v1.
A respectable 1v1.
Like these don't make any sense to me. Like I get it, and I'm glad, and I'll take it. But honestly, it's pretty pathetic. I think there's so much more they can do, and just playing ADC is just some of the worst feelings I ever have playing League of Legends. It's torture, and I love League. I love playing it. It's fun playing with you guys, and I love ADC. But it's just like you get one shot by everything in the game, and it's just that's not fun, you know.
Yeah. And they even
And
mention it in this article. So like Corki, Graves, Kindred, and Quinn will be excluded from like the health changes. Um, but it says this won't have significant effect on 4 out of the 5 most picked ADCs. So Senna,
yes,
Ezreal, Varus, Misfortune do not build attack speed items. They
yes, think
prioritize
about
damage
that.
items. Aphelios
Yes,
is the 5th, but he does build Hurricane. Um,
yes, think
so
about that.
it's just
Every
so weird. It's so weird
what do they
because like
build first most of the time? Either IE, Essence
yeah,
Reaver.
yeah,
Like they're buffing the wrong items.
yeah. They're like you look at Yasuo, he's going for Phantom Dancer or Shiv first.
Yep, and he also builds.
Yasuo got a
Yeah,
buff. Is getting a buff.
yeah,
That's who's getting a
yeah,
buff here.
yeah. They're buffing Yasuo indirectly, but
Yep.
they're saying, "Oh, guess what? ADCs here's plus 30 health and plus 5 per level." Come on,
I
it's
feel
a
like
joke.
Yeah, that means
ADC's
nothing.
gonna
That's
be tricky though. If you buff ADCs, it'll just be 5 ADCs every game.
Yeah, I understand it's a slope, but this doesn't do anything. 5 health every level is a minion attack, is a minion auto attack. You could take one more caster minion hit now.
What's it gonna hurt them if they buffed like
Hmm.
the little experience they get or gold they get from minions?
Yep.
Like they're not gonna ever buff Affinity Edge because they freaking look how long it took them to revert it back to its old way. You know, and they're never gonna. What if they buff Innocence Reaver? That would be nice. What if they made Stormrazor not suck? That'd be nice. But they're not gonna do it, and it's just like I get your ADC. You're supposed to be blown up by everything, but it's just not. It's terrible. I don't know.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, yeah, it's weird, and like if you want to do well as an AD carry, you first of all you have to be fed out of your gourd, because I mean, even like Mitch said, a tank with a fourth of your kills, you can't do anything to, or a
Think
fourth
about
of your
this.
gold in general. You like one Sunfire Cape, you have to have like 2 items to get through it.
This is the best way I feel about it. Every role, if you get behind, can still do something. You get behind as ADC, you get put back in farm, kills, deaths, whatever. Okay, you're sharing a lane automatically, so you're getting less experience in gold because you're sharing a lane. If you're pushed back so far, you're a bot.
Yeah.
You could do nothing in the game because you tickle everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unless
you're
you're
Cannot do
useless.
anything. Yeah, I think ADCs could use more than this. I don't know. I don't know if they just need to keep buffing ADCs, or maybe let's get rid of this 5 tanks every lane you win. Maybe
Yeah.
that could be a solution, because tanks right now are abysmal. And if you play
Yeah.
like if you have 2 people that can't die on your team, then it doesn't matter what you do.
Like I'm getting forced to not play ADCs. I have to play mages. It is
Yeah.
not fun. I want to play ADCs. I don't want to have to be stuck playing mages all game.
Yeah,
or
like
Yasuo or
Syndra,
anything.
Ziggs, Yasuo bot are like pretty good.
And I
it's hard to
lose.
play.
If they play that, I lose. I can't
Yeah.
like they do more damage than me. It's I don't know, man. I think this is just it's dumb. It's just it needs more.
And so that will come out in the patch on the 28th. Likely to be released on 10/11. I think run 10. So that's Mitch's little rant for the week. I'm sure sure we'll come back next week with another one. The last thing that we're gonna talk about today, there was like a little Twitch Rivals tournament. It was 16 total players. Price pool was $100,000. Which is a pretty big price pool, especially for how little people played. But a lot of the top streamers and this is Legends of Runeterra. So even if you got 16th, you still run 2,500. So if you played, you're guaranteed 2,500. So I wish I was a streamer right now.
I'll take it.
Yeah. So I'm
surprised
sure a
Pepper's
few of
gonna
these.
win
I mean, where are you? Where's Peppers in that?
that.
On vacation still?
He's going through it.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. Well, let him know I send my regards.
Yeah.
Will do.
So I'm sure some of these names are kind of familiar, like Swim, Mogwai, and those are
Yeah,
familiar
I know
names. So a
Mogwai.
few of these are familiar names. Swim got 2nd. Mogwai got 9th. We don't really have all their deck lists. I kind of want to go through. We have the 4th players, or the 4th places, few decks, so I kind of want to look at them real quick. I believe the first deck. So the way they do these tournaments is kind of like the Hearthstone. You bring in 3 decks. Your opponent knows the region. I don't believe they know the champs. And you get to pick one to ban, and then you have to win with both of your decks. I think that's how it works.
Yeah.
So
Best 2 out of 3.
his first, yeah. So the deck that didn't get banned, you have to win with both. Once you win, you can't play that deck again. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
That sounds right.
But so the first deck he played was like Elise Swain. This is that what is it called? Something Spider. I can't remember the name, but this is kind of a deck that I've seen going around. It's pretty good. The second deck he played, and he doesn't have his named, was Twisted Fate Lee Sin, taking advantage of a lot of spells. Twisted Fate.
Yeah.
This card. Let me talk for a second. Not only do I think this is the best champ in the game, I honestly think Twisted Fate is the best card in Runeterra. I'm gonna go that far and say that. I think he is the best card in Runeterra.
He does have a lot of utility
He,
and very versatile.
no matter what situation you are in currently with your opponent, Twist of Fate will always do something. Like Jewel Protector, for example. When you play him, you grant an ally in hand +3/+3. He is not good if you don't have an ally in your hand. Like a 5 cost 4/4 is not good. If you don't have an ally other than him, you're not going to play this card. Like these are more generic. Let's say like Deny. Deny is not good if your opponent doesn't play a fast, slow, or skill. It's just it doesn't do anything. Yef, on the other hand, no matter what the situation, when you play this card, he will do something that benefits.
Goodbye. Oh.
See ya. Yeah, so this card's very good. I'm not gonna go on too much about it, but I think this card's very good. I think this deck is pretty good as well. His third deck is, let's see here. He also played Vi Lux. I haven't really seen this much. I know Vi has seen a lot of similarities with or not similarities, but I've seen a lot of play with like Elise and the newest version of the Corinna deck that a lot of hype beasts like to play. It's a fine deck, also that burn deck with no champs a lot of people like to play. I also think that deck isn't good, but
Demacia could piss off.
what is that card? Does it play the 8 drop? But
They
the
don't-
8 drop
they don't
burst.
play
There's an 8 drop burst. We talked about it when these cards were like first released. But it's an 8 drop burst. You grant, which means it's permanent. Give is for the turn. Grant is permanent, but it grants a ally they can't die or take damage. It is very annoying if you're not playing Ionia because you lose the game. Ionia can like bounce it. Shadow
Yeah, if
Isles
you're
or
not playing
Bilgewater
Nautilus-
can obliterate it. And Nautilus he's just that's a big boy. You're not really attacking over him.
And Nautilus could shuffle it.
Yeah, with his spell, that's true.
Well,
so
there
yeah,
is Purify. You could silence it. There is counters to the deck, like counters to the card,
sure.
but like, if there also isn't.
But you
Like,
have
they
you
play
have
it-
to you now have to like think, which I guess it kind of gives like this element into your deck building, like to the
I
thought
guess-
of your deck building, because you're like, since there's no sideboard in this game,
Yeah.
which I kind of think there was, I kind of wish there was, like a 2 out of
they're
3 in
playing-
ranked.
If they're playing that card, it's definitely like a control build, so you could probably play like one out to it if you need to.
Yeah,
So
you
I
definitely
think
you
it
have
could
to
be
you have to think about. It's something you have to. It's always in the back of your mind. Like I remember when we were playing Pokemon, Greninja Break was good. You may not play against it, but since that game doesn't have sideboards, you had to play that Giratina promo. I think Mitch knows what I'm talking about. I don't know if Neelix does.
Yes.
Or I don't know if the viewers know either. But Giratina, the promo card, it like disabled the abilities of break Pokemon or something like that. So like you don't know you're gonna play against it, but you have to play this card. And if you don't play against it all day, like you go to a tournament or local or regional or something, you don't play against any Greninja Break, then you have a useless card. So like Purify, sure, it will come in handy more often than not because you can purify something else, but I don't know, it's kind of interesting because you have to think about your deck build because you're like, well, I may run into this, so I may need to plan out to it. Or if you're playing Ionia, you don't really care because you can just return it to hand. So yeah, that's won't get into it too much. Congratulations to Dog. I believe he was the winner. I'm not really sure who he is. I haven't heard of him before this tournament, but good job to him. $20,000. It's a pretty big prize pool. I kind of think it's weird though, because like all these guys are already known streamers.
It's weird that we don't know the deck list.
Yeah, I guess not everyone's willing to share it. Because I think there were some people kind of playing some weirder stuff. Like we know the decks that we play against, like in ladder. Like okay, this deck's obviously good. Like this aggro burn deck, it's annoying to play against. This Corinna deck.
There's probably three different burn decks.
Yeah. But I'm sure like these guys really thought about this event and made decks specifically for it. So who knows if these decks are actually going to be good in ladder or if they're just good here. But anyways, congratulations to these guys. This is pretty cool. Finally starting to get to see some tournaments with this game. This game is relatively new, so we don't really have a lot of tournaments, and really the only meta discussion we have is just what kind of we see in ladder. And none of us are too high. I did hit plat a few days ago, so y'all leave if you have any questions, any you want you need any coaching,
Here
just
we
leave me a
go.
just leave me a comment below. Yeah, just
Selfless plug.
leave me a comment below. I'm a plat player, so I'm
All right.
always happy to help.
Would you play? Would you play to get the plat?
Twisted Fate, Wayne.
Okay. You liking it?
Yeah, Twisted Fate's the best card in the game, and Swain's the
Is
easiest
there
champ
any
to level up.
changes? Like, you sent me that deck. Did you make any changes to it? 'Cause I did.
I've made a few changes. I will say these cards that draw from my deck. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all about a loss real quick, and then we're gonna wrap it up because we don't have much else to talk about. I played against the deck. It was like I don't know what it was. I haven't seen it before, but it was just based on like activating these plunder effects and drawing from your deck. I had this guy 3 health with Swain's tutor on board, so when the round starts, you deal 3 to face. And so all I had to do is pass, and I won. I had 1 health left. I play a 1 of Blade's Edge. It has come in very handy. I just like it to, pop a barrier. Swain levels up when he does face damage, and he stuns big enemies when he does face damage. So like this 1 of Blade's Edge, I just really like it. It can it can stun their strongest enemy. It can pop something. It can pop a barrier. It's come in handy a lot for me. I play 1 of it. This guy, he had to draw something, or he was gonna lose when he passed. He drew like 5 cards from my deck, and he drew my 1 of Blade's Edge, and hit me in face for 1 damage, and I lost. Very unfortunate, but it is what it is. That's just part of it.
I
That's
took out
rough.
Noxus Guillotine and I put in Coaling Strike just because of burn. Like, I feel like there's too many cards in the deck that rely on something being damaged, like Ravenous Block and then Noxian Guillotine. I'd rather spend 1 mana to deal 4 damage than to destroy a damaged item.
Noxus Guillotine has a lot of synergy with like TF.
That is fair.
And then like
but then again, so does Ravenous Block.
That's true, but it doesn't kill them. The 4 damage actually, like it's a very weird number. Like there's been a lot of like a 6 health guy that's taken 1 damage so he's now 5. Ravenous Flock doesn't do anything. I have to play another card to kill it. Ravenous Flock comes in handy a lot. I play 3 of it, but Noxus Guillotine. I've wiped boards with it. Like if you're in high rounds, like round 10, you can have up to 13 mana. You play a TF, do 1 to all of them, and then you just guillotine. So it comes in handy. I like that card. I think the deck's pretty good.
Well, I changed it to Coaling Strike just because I've been going against a lot of burn. Odds are if they're damaged, then they're dead.
Yeah.
So
Burn doesn't burn. Haven't had a lot of hard times with that deck because they have a hard time in my experience getting over a high health unit.
So you just drop Swain on
I
Kurt?
I play Swain or the tutor because he's 8 health. And they have a really hard time dealing with it. Also, I play the guy that when you plunder, you heal and rally.
Yeah, I go like 50-50 with the deck.
Yeah,
I'll win like 2, lose 2, then I just stay. I've been stuck in silver 1.
Yeah, I'm higher than 50% because obviously I climbed, but I'm gaining more LP. I'm gaining 20, losing 16, I think. So I can lose a few, but yeah, I think that's all we got for today. Like always, remember to like, subscribe, tell your friend, grandma, neighbor, even your enemy. Tell them about it. Maybe y'all can find some common ground and be back to being friends.
Or find a better reason to hate each other.
That's true. Y'all can listen to the podcast, and if you both disagree on different things we talked about, then maybe y'all won't like each other even more. But hey, at least you tried. Um, our Discord link is always going to be in the description from now on. Y'all come join the Discord. You can actually talk to us, play some games with us, hang out. It's always a good time over there. And if y'all don't have anything else, then we will see you guys next Friday. Thank you.
Toodles.